Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dig right into the toolbox tonight. Hopefully, you all have been you've been inside of your account, right? Everybody knows how to get inside of the account. So this should look pretty familiar to you. It should look pretty close to what your account looks like. There are free resources through the app. The only way that you can get these is if you go to the app and you add them through the app, and then you have them on the app. So these are a lot of my like itinerant shortcuts. If you're looking for just kind of like how to do Google Forms or anything like that, that's in here. User guides, I will talk more about that, but those are kind of your lightning focused bullet points on what to look for in certain topics that you want. Keeping track of your trainings, because I know there's a lot in here and people kind of forget about what they've done. These are our T days, our Tuesdays and our Thursdays, which is what you're doing tonight. And I am going to go ahead and dive right into the toolbox. So this has been really fun for me to do. I have been spending my time in the self-identity section. So inside the self-identity, this is where I get to teach kids about their hearing loss without really talking about them, because a lot of my students, first of all, they get tired of talking about their hearing loss, or some of them, they don't really want to talk about them. This is not about them. They feel on they don't like to be called out. They don't like to be asked these questions, and it puts them in an uncomfortable spot. So they don't like that. And I don't have to do that. I do everything I want to do through the self-identity section. And once you open this, you'll see there's a lot of stuff in here, but there's especially a lot of stuff inside this unit. If you haven't clicked on this unit, you need to discover the units. Now, the unit is also tied to the Guess Who game. The Guess Who game is a lot of fun, and they are actually the same thing. It's two roads, two roads to get to the same location. So I'm going to show you what it looks like on Guess Who, in case you're not familiar with it. Now, this is Guess Who DHH edition, and it requires two people, and it requires somebody to pick a person and the other person to guess the person. Now, the cards, you can download cards if you want, but if you want it on your phone, you don't need, because I never have access to a printer and I am always constantly forgetting to pack things. So you can actually access the cards on your phone. So if you want to try this out, I invite you to go ahead and put your phone up to the screen and grab this QR code. And if you do that, you'll see this little spinner that you get on your phone, which is all of the cards on our game. So the game board, you have to click here for the game board after you've gotten the cards. And then this is the Guess Who game board, and you can highlight people, and then you can play the game Guess Who. Now, after you've identified who, then here are all the people, and you can click. Every single person has their own activity. They all have their own lesson. So this is where it takes you to that exact other section. So lately, I haven't been playing Guess Who. I have just gone straight to the section, which is called Units. Meet some famous and notable deaf and hard of hearing people. Now, I also encourage you to come back to this frequently, because new people will continue to emerge in this section. But what I have been doing lately is I've said to my students, pick a person, and we're going to learn about the person. So you'll see here, we've got lots of people. Here's my second set. Now, I could just kind of go through every single one of these, but we will definitely run out of time for this. So I'm just wondering if anybody sees a person on here that catches your eye that you would like to see what the lesson is like inside. So I would love to have a volunteer for somebody to pick a person, and let me show you some of the activities in here.
Malala.
Oh, I'm so glad you said Malala. Does everybody know that Malala has a cochlear implant? So, if you're not familiar with the story of Malala, and a lot of our students aren't, but Malala was shot by the Taliban because she insisted on going to school. And at the time, they determined in their country that girls should not go to school. Her father was a principal of a school. Their family valued education very much. And she continued to go to school. And she started to write essays under a false name that got printed in England about what the Taliban was doing and why girls should go to school. And the Taliban found out that she was doing this. And one day after she took an exam, she got on her school bus to go home. She had a couple other girls that she had recruited to go to school with her, but the Taliban got on her school bus and demanded to know which child she was, and then they literally shot her in the head. Okay. She miraculously lived through it, and it is a miracle. The doctors say they have no idea how that happened, how she lived through it. But her hearing got destroyed on that side, and she now has a cochlear implant. All right, so that is the story. So inside of here, there actually is a video for kids about that whole story. So inside here, now we've learned about that. And then we have her. Now she talks about how all kids should be able to have an equal and strong education. And this one right here, this video right here is specifically geared towards kids who have hearing loss. Let me make sure that the audio is on because I will show it to you here. Optimize for everything.
I was 11 years old when girls' education was banned in Swat Valley in the north of Pakistan. And what can an 11-year-old girl do? I strongly believe that girls' education is the key to transforming societies. But right now, there are 130 million girls who cannot go to school. And my hope is that all girls can have equal opportunities and that we ensure a world where girls can have access to free, safe, and quality education.
My name is Alana Nichols, and I was born with a profound hearing loss. I would say that early education, it really had a compounded effect over life. And for me, it really played a big role in my success today as an adult and a television host and speaker.
Hi, Alana. Nice to see you.
It was a phenomenal experience speaking to Malala. And what I found was really powerful about her story, and there's also the story with a lot of people with hearing losses. It's not what happened to her that's powerful, it's more what she did with the circumstances she was dealt with. She not only changed it for herself, but she also made it a mission to help other girls all over the world also get access to education.
My message to all the children with hearing loss is that you can achieve any dream that you have. Yes, there are things that might limit us, things might be slightly harder for us. And I personally can relate to that because I also have lost my hearing in my left ear and I use a cochlear implant. But you deserve this. You deserve to have equal opportunities as everybody else. Loss of hearing should not be a hurdle in your way. You can have any dream in the world that you want, and you achieve that dream for yourself.
Okay. So that video is 2 minutes. After your students have a little bit of an education, there is usually something that you can read, and I do listening and comprehension for these activities. So whatever the learning is, they either listen through the video or I read or they read. I do reading comprehension as well. So this particular activity talks about her technology as a cochlear implant. With a cochlear implant, but then there's also this particular activity is other listening technologies as well. So it teaches about behind the ear hearing aids, cochlear implants, and Bahas. So you kind of talk about that a little bit, and then you get a memory game for each one of those kinds of listening technology. So the kids can learn about what a BAHA is, what it stands for, and how is it different from a cochlear implant. And you have to match, you've got to match your colors and your technology. So we've got, oh, I'm pretty terrible. Here we go, behind the ear. Here's our, whoop, there's our cochlear implant. Where was it? Nope. I'm terrible at memory. My students love playing memory with me because they always win. Cochlear implant. Okay. So then after you, oops, I'm missing these two. Here we go. Oh, did I not get one? There we go. There we go. Okay, so then you play the memory. You can talk about each one. So there's always some activity that is somehow related to the person that you have just learned about. But then for every single one of these, then you have an opportunity to go through, where we go, click here to see what you have in common with Malala. So then you go through and each person, you learn, you talk about their kind of hearing loss, and then you can compare your student can compare and contrast if they have that in common or if they have that different. So Malala has a profound hearing loss, and you just go through each one of these items. She was born hearing, but she lost her hearing when she was a child. She uses listening and spoken language to communicate. So you get to kind of build in what's listening and spoken language versus sign language. So, and then you go all the way through, and usually there's something in each one of these sections of questions that says, she was embarrassed, or she had a hard time, or other kids were unkind, something like that, that it kind of brings out some opportunity to discuss life events with your students. But then it always brings up that turnaround. So she took her bad experience and used it to help others. She believes that you can achieve any dream that you have, and she believes that hearing loss shouldn't be a hurdle in your way. So hopefully you get some great discussion, and my students absolutely love these activities. And the other one that I did recently, well, let's see, does anybody else have another one that they would like to peek at tonight? I'll just kind of leave this on here and you can see what some of the options are. If you see somebody that you're not familiar with, call their name and I'll show you. I want to kind of highlight some of these things that I know that are in here. So Niall DeMarco, he is, I believe, 5th generation deaf. So you learn his topic is about a deaf-friendly home and what type of technology and what types of things are different about a home that is deaf-friendly. So students get to design their dream deaf-friendly home and talk about what that looks like. Millie Bobby Brown, you get to, because she's an actress, so you get to design a hearing aid. So you can design like a red carpet hearing aid. Mandy Harvey, if you're not familiar with Mandy Harvey, she is a gold buzzer winner on for America's Got Talent, and she shares her story about how she lost her hearing and how she just really grieved that and how she kind of gave up. And then she's got a song, and she wrote her song about her experience kind of navigating hearing loss. And so students can kind of write a poem or can write a song. Haben is deafblind. So, and she's pretty fascinating. If you're not familiar with Haben, she is the first Harvard graduate who is deafblind, and she doesn't let anything stop her. She surfs, she ballroom dances, she presents in front of crowds. She works at the White House. I mean, she's just amazing. And one of the things that is big on hers is that you learn about her technology and the technology that she uses, because she has a braille writer that's connected to like her phone. So the phone listens and then it types a chat and then it turns it into braille. And that's how she communicates. So you can sit and talk with her and she's just reading your conversation in braille as it happens. And so you get to learn a little bit about her technology. And then there is also some compare and contrast with Haben. So these are the types of activities that my students are absolutely enthralled with. They just want to keep going. They want to come back. They want to learn more. It's great for all ages. So each activity has got at least one video, some type of reading message comprehension, and then a see what you have in common with them, and then an additional activity that allows you to expand and go even further. So I will often spend at least 2 and sometimes 3 periods on a single person, but I could do it as few as 1 as well. Oh, Kim's saying that her high schoolers love it. Kim, are there any lessons that you have found in here that your students especially enjoy or that you have enjoyed? She says our camera and our mic are not working. Thank goodness for chat. It's all right. Braden Baker is another fun one I'll point out. And they love the younger one. Is it Braden that they love? So Braden started off on Ellen, and on Ellen, she invited him to come to the Ellen show. And I think when he turned, well, first of all, his dog ate his hearing aids. So I think his dog ate his hearing aids twice, and his parents got really mad at him because, you can't just go buy a brand new pair of hearing aids at any time. And he felt really bad that fortunately they could afford to get a new pair of hearing aids, but it resonated with him that many kids didn't have the financial ability to be able to get a pair of hearing aids. So he did like a GoFundMe so that he could raise some money so that he could donate hearing aids. And he ended up raising, I think he raised maybe $20,000. I think he raised 20,000. He was aiming for $2,000 so he could buy a pair of hearing aids, and he ended up, I think, raising $20,000. He decided that he wanted to go to maybe Costa Rica or somewhere and donate the hearing aids. Ellen got hold of this, and then she and Cheerios got hold of it. So then they donated additional money for him so that he could go and spend his birthday donating these hearing aids. So then they have a whole video of it. But then Marvel got hold of him and they made
That's right. I've never met.
they made a comic book figure based on him with his hearing loss. Then Mr. Beast got hold of him. And of course, everybody loves Mr. Beast, and my kids are super familiar with Mr. Beast. I'll show you the Mr. Beast video.
This is the
Because
first
this
out
is
of
fun.
and deaf people that we're going to help hear again. And she hasn't heard her mother's voice in 4 years. Can you hear? Next, we help Kaylee, Sydney, and even entire families hear their loved ones again. But they are only a few of the 1,000 people that we are going to help hear again today. We got our hands on over $3 million of cutting-edge hearing technology that, unlike old hearing aids, analyzes people's specific hearing needs, allowing them to hear again without causing any damage. Can you hear me talking now? Yes. Oh my God. Wait. Can you hear me? I'm gonna cry. You just saved my dad's life. And our 10th person was Aisha.
I used to watch it like a lot. Like
Used to?
no, stop.
What happened? I know this is over. Go ahead, do a test.
Mommy.
She can't hear you yet, but she will in 3, 2, 1. Oh, smell left ear now. How's it sound? He's dancing. Oh God. This is so nice. Did you hear that?
I can't.
At this point, we've helped over 40 people hear again. But on top of that, we wanted to give them a little surprise. This is $10,000. It's yours. Here you go. We also want to give you $10,000 to make this day a little bit better. Yeah, she'll have a heart attack, actually. Which is better, hearing or the 10 grand? Do you watch the channel? Can you guys close your eyes and can I borrow you for 1 second? Keep telling you guys just want it. Okay, open your eyes.
You want $10,000. Well, I go home and have my office.
Please don't. What is with everyone and having heart attacks this video? Turn around, look at the camera, and you just go subscribe.
Subscribe.
There you go. Ivy's the next big YouTuber. Why don't we give you $10,000 as well? There you go.
The hearing aids, these are nice. Like, that is awesome.
Not only did we want to help you here, we also wanted to give you $10,000 on top of it. What are you going to spend the money on? You mentioned you have 12 grandkids. So, in here is $12,000. Oh, way. So now you can give out grand to each of your grandkids. You can just tell me what jokes are dumb. Here you go. Is there something you want to buy?
Things I want to buy.
Well, now you can. When we were talking earlier, they mentioned you guys enjoyed jet ski. Is there anything you want? You don't want to spend money on?
Jet ski for him. It's jet ski for free.
Mr. Reese. Wait, did you just realize who I am? Oh, yeah, I'm the one who helped you here. But now that you know who I am, can I surprise you guys with something? Okay, I went out and I bought a brand new jet ski for you guys. I was going to sell my wife trying to give it. Oh, really? I got you.
Thank you so much.
While we were busy helping more people, I sent Nolan to give a gift to one of our youngest patients. I've got some custom pink hearing aids for you. Listen, what do you say we go get some more toys? We're just gonna go to the toy aisle. You just go crazy, right? It's Jimmy's money.
Taking all his money.
Yes. Oh, what's that? You like this?
You need more.
I'm going to fast forward it a little bit here.
And we also went to Guatemala, Brazil, and we also helped hundreds of people in South Africa, Malawi, and Indonesia. And I learned while filming this video that providing hearing isn't the only way to connect people. Sign language connects people whether they can hear or not. But access to learning sign language is still very limited in many places. So we're going to donate $100,000 to organizations around the world that are teaching people sign language. But aside from that, we still have our final person left to help. There you go.
Okay, so you can appreciate that the kids really enjoy this video. And I'll tell you, this is a great conversation when talking about how people value their hearing and how they value their hearing aids and how special they thought that it was to be able to have the opportunity to hear, and just all that is embedded in all of that. So Braden partnered with Mr. Beast to do this. And so he's embedded in this video here. And then at the end, here we go. Here is our see what you have in common with Braden. And we do the same thing. And so we talk about now he's got a severe hearing loss. He got hearing aids as a baby. And we talks about his dog chewed his hearing technology. So you get to talk about that with your students. He wears his hearing aids all the time. He felt bad for people who couldn't afford hearing aids. So it's really great talking points. And it's been pretty fun. It's been super fun with my students. And again, I'm embedding in all of my a lot of self-advocacy stuff, a lot of hearing loss, understanding of hearing loss, a lot of understanding how to read audiograms, because I pull up the audiogram. This is what a severe hearing loss looks like. What does yours look like? We talk about all of these things. So I'm super excited to share that with you. Anybody have anybody else that they wanted to see before I get out of this section, or anyone that you're familiar with that you want me to show other people? I tried really hard when I designed this unit to do a collection of hearing losses, communication modes. There are hard of hearing people represented in here. There are cochlear implants that are represented. There are excuse me, there's sign language, there's people who use both, there's unilateral loss. The only thing I don't have in here yet is a Baja. I'm looking for a Baja, but that will be added as soon as I find somebody. But the learning about the Baja technology is in here.
I really enjoy Sean Forbes. I use him a lot.
Oh, I love Sean Forbes. He is so, so fun. Yeah. And here he is. And he's done so much, and you get connected with his website in here, and there's a lot of fun stuff that you can look at with them.
Especially, he has a song where he talks about dealing with the bullying and stuff, and he doesn't care. So just
Yeah.
dissecting that with the kids is a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Yeah. And this one, he even talks about riding the short bus. Some students have, if they go to a special school, they might ride the short bus. I have worked with students that ride on a special bus to get to school, and they don't like that. So it's really a great conversation, but he talks about all of those things. And this particular song is super cute. We have a minute. So he wrote and sings it himself. And this is Marley Matlin who's in with him.
To the door with holes in the teeth. Look so pretty, hard to be. Oh, so how it is. And you're the best looking woman from the land of bacon. Like a dress. Did you express like you had not would be correct? So far, feelings I possess for the way you look tonight. And I live in the world. Things I said yesterday came back to bite me today. I need to stick to it. Shorty. Some people can't wait for me. Can't wait for me. Taste the air.
Okay, isn't that fun, you guys? Now let me just show you the other song that she was talking about. Check out, so he created DPAN TV, which is the Deaf Performing Arts Network. And there's all kinds of just good stuff on here, and a lot of different music, a lot of songs. He's got one, and is it called Deaf Out Loud? Trying to think. Let's see if I can find it. ASL music videos. Oh, was that Watch These Hands? Good question. Any case, you can also see how there's just when you start digging into some of these lessons, you can really just explore and learn some fun stuff, learn some great stuff. So again, let me just backtrack a little bit so you can see how we got here to this section. I am going to start off in, all right, so let me just back up even one step further. We're at the online itinerants. So this is the onlineitinerant.com. You can tell if you're already logged in if you've got this little icon person. If you're not logged in, it will say log in, but you can also click right here on the member section. So when you click there, that will take you to your library, which may look very similar to mine, to here. And you come on down to the toolbox. And also the toolbox is, oh, maybe not. Okay, so you come down to the toolbox. And now once you're inside, there's a shortcut to the toolbox. The other thing I want to make sure that you know about is that there is a search bar. So the magnifying glass is a search bar, and you can search for words. Let's search for, well, let's say you wanted to find Sean Forbes. So you can just search for him and it can take you directly to the resource. But also you can, if you see activities that you really like, or maybe you haven't finished with it and you know you're going to leave off, you can star them. And when you star them, it puts it up here in your favorites. So I've been working with my transition binders. So I hate searching for it. So I put it up here in my favorites. It makes it really easy to get to. All of these are under the self-identity and social emotional section. And in here, remember, there are 2 ways to get here. So you can play Guess Who, and if you play Guess Who, again, you have the opportunity. One person is the picker, and you can use the QR code if you want, or you can get cards, print them, and copy them. Okay, so one person is the picker and the other person is the guesser. So you have to click to get to the game board and then you can play that. This is really fun too if you've got more than one student that you're bringing together. You can do this virtually with students as well, or if you've got one student virtual and one student face-to-face, it's a great activity. Of course, it practices all of our yes and no questions. From the game, each one of the people, you can click right on them like that. Or if you don't want to play the game, then you can go right back to the toolbox. Go here. Okay, we're back to the toolbox. We are in the self-identity and social emotional, and it's the exact same thing here. The unit meets some famous and notable deaf people. And it's the same. It's the same. It's just a different door. It's just a different door to get to these people. And you can go directly there like this.
Okay.
So the other thing I really love to point out is that if you're kind of like, I'm not sure what I want to, I'm not sure where I left off. I'm not sure where to start, or what I need to work on next, then I encourage you to open up the audit proof IEP section. Hopefully you have seen that. Let me go right into the self-identity, because in the goal banks, you've got the skills checklist and the lessons. So you can click right here and hear all of the skills that we want our students to learn. And then these are the lessons that focus on them. And you'll see a lot of these people are inside these lessons. So here's one, this is identify 3 ways that people may lose their hearing. All right, well, we just looked at Malala. We learned how she lost her hearing. She had something happen to her ears. Niall DeMarco is born that way. He is 5th generation. Sean Forbes got sick as a
Baby.
baby. Same with CC Bell. She got sick. So you can kind of go into these individual people and you can learn. So you can go straight to these lessons from whatever you're trying to teach. And let me fast forward to a little bit of a older age group here. So here's one. They can define the deaf community and can identify 3 cultural aspects related to it. So you can see all the different lessons that teach that skill. You can pick on any of them or you can work your way through them, but this links directly to the lesson. So more than one way to ASL. I haven't showed you that yet, but it talks about some of the technology and some of the different interesting things about sign language. And so you can click right on the different sections and there's information that's embedded in it all about the deaf community. So again, how did I get here? I was on the IEP Goal Bank. And that starts off with the skills that you're working on, and then it gives you a direct link that you can click on. And some of them are trainings. So here is one of the skills. When provided with their audiogram, students can identify at least 2 out of the following: their hearing loss type, degree, and how it doesn't hold them back. But look, you can do travel tips for students, and that meets that activity. There's a whole training taught by Tina Childress, who is a deaf audiologist who travels like crazy, and she does a training on like how she travels with her hearing loss. So that's perfect. It doesn't hold her back. It doesn't hold your students back. So you can actually show them that training and dig into that a little bit. So
I just have a comment. It's a very intense little website or app that you have, but my students now can find it faster than I can.
I love that.
So they'll help me find what we're doing. So I have some that are just auditory processors. It's over here, boom. Okay. Another, I'll say, well, I'm looking for transition. Boom. I was like, oh my God. So it's kind of cool that they can navigate better. And then once we get in it, we discuss what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had that. Is that new?
Which one?
That with all the people on there?
No, that's been in there for over a year.
Because I'm new to the website. Haram Girma, I use her for my students who are deaf, blind, or have ushers because the whole reason she became a legal advocate is because they couldn't help her brother. And so it's a lot of great discussion because they can see such an extreme. And then we also did a whole technology because we're trying to convince my deafblind student to also use Braille. And, she wasn't identifying with it. But Haram can just have that Braille that pops up.
Yeah.
She just feels it. And I said, look at how she's communicating. So we changed the angles and everything. And that's where we picked up all the different technologies that she uses to be so successful on the video.
I love it. Did you watch the training by Ashley Norcus on Usher syndrome?
No.
Does your student have Usher syndrome by
No,
chance?
they don't know what she has.
Well, I wouldn't
Like she's
limit
been
this.
tested. Whatever she has, it'll get her name once the Columbia University said, give us 10 more years to get.
Interesting. And they're going to
Yeah.
name it after her?
Yeah, they
That's
can't figure
amazing.
it out. Hopefully
So,
it's not
So
horrible.
what I want to show you is this live meetups and bonus trainings. Okay. We've had 2 trainings by Ashley Norcus. And they are in here. You have until Memorial Day to see them. This one is sign language through touch, pro tactile ASL. Did you see that training?
No, I put it on my list to do because she's finally, so she also wants a dog. And I said, well, you have to be open to other things. I don't know what the tactile is. We can watch it together. So
Well, this presenter,
uh,
so she is deaf, and one morning she woke up completely blind. So she went kind of overnight to blind.
that's how she became deaf.
Okay. And just listening to her story is worth attending the training alone. And she talks about like, and then her cochlear implants failed. So then she went to having everything to having nothing in a very short amount of time. And she presents on Zoom, and she's made her PowerPoint, and she's using the Braille thing. And I'm friends with Ashley, and I knew her. She's one of the sign language teachers in the signing room when she woke up blind one morning. And she contacted me and she said, I can't teach in the signing room today because I woke up blind. And I thought, oh no, you certainly can't. She says, I can't see the screen and and so I can't teach. But so I was in constant contact with her during this initial portion of the journey, and how quickly she picked up the Braille and the Braille user and everything. And she shares her story. So it is really powerful. I can't recommend it enough. So it's the October
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
Ushers training, and then the sign language through touch. Just watch it together and learn about it. Not that you're trying to convince your student, just say, I'm not trying to convince you. I just want to introduce you to some other
Yeah.
people. And again, some kids, they don't want to talk about themselves. And this is what I'm really learning
Right.
myself, is that they don't want me to pull out their audiogram. They want me to pull out somebody else's audiogram. And then they go, well, how is that? And now all of a sudden the conversation turns, right? Well, how is that? That's like mine, next thing you know, and you start that conversation. It's really powerful. So
Yeah.
you would love your student, I think, would really be.
I
Did
think so
anybody
too,
here?
because this year we got a really good VI. She's really rocking it on brailing, and she's finally accepting that she's also blind, and there's no missing it. She walks with a cane and everything else, but legally blind. That I think that would be awesome. Just what you said. So, because to me, I always bring it in as, oh, look what I just learned. Do you want to do it with me?
Yeah,
I always play the let's see
yeah.
what happens next. So we'll
Yep.
see. Yeah, I think it's
And
great.
you mentioned about not knowing that the different things are in the toolbox. That's my number one tip, to try to see what's in here, because I know there is a lot, and I know that,
Yeah,
and I keep adding more, and people
right.
keep asking for more, and sometimes I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't know if I want to add more because there's so much.
No, I think
Um,
it's good. I think it's good. I
but
just
bring it to
know.
your classes, bring it to your students, say, hey,
Yeah,
let's dig around in here,
yeah,
let's play around, let's
yeah.
explore together, and that
You
also helps
suggested
your
that, and
students.
they look forward to it. Like some of the kids take my phone. I have one of those folds.
Oh yeah.
And so the phone is reliable, and they really do enjoy it. Like, because I'll give them options. We have to do a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and then they'll ask. And then they're awesome. Like, I am shocked how well they can use they always, let's go to the toolbox, It's like, okay.
Love it. Now they can have access, because you get them, their families, or get them on the Friend Academy, then they get access to the toolbox through the Friend Academy, and their families can as well.
Well, some
So
can't even, they're not allowed to use their phones and stuff. We're going through a thing up here in upstate New York.
yeah,
We'll
well,
see.
just know if you feel like if they would like their own copy of
Yeah,
it on their own phone, it is included in the Friend Academy, which families get for free under your membership. So that's the other thing, just to know. Love it.
yeah. I gotta get on that, sharing it with the parents.
Yeah, great. All right, well, I'm opening the floor for questions, for discussion. Anything you want to share?
I have a question. For the trainings, it says keeps track of all the trainings that you've completed. Are they in one place, or is it just the star and complete at the top?
Let me show you. That's a great question. Again, this is another one that's kind of like there are two doors to get to the same place. So let's do, whoops, my computer. So let's do okay, so right here, keep track of your completed trainings. This is just basically a list of all of the trainings that are inside. And if you have if you have gone into this section and checked it as done, then you will see that there is a check mark on there. But you have to go into the section to do it. So let's pretend, oh, the other nice thing about this though, is that you can look and be like, oh, I haven't done APD, and I'll do that one. That looks good. You can actually click on the training. Whoops. And it will take you directly, well, first of all, it takes you, if you finished it, then you click on the star. Then it will, oh, no, I'm sorry. If you click it, if you finished it, you do the check mark. The star makes it a favorite, okay? So you click it, you mark it as done. If you haven't done it yet and you would like to do it, then it says right here, want to view this training, click here. And this will take you to the beginning of the training. Whoops, I wonder what happened there. Well, I'll get that fixed. Try that one more time. Nope, that's definitely not working. Anytime you guys come up with a glitch with something that's not working like that, just email me and I will work to get it fixed as quickly as I can. But again, these are doors. There's always other ways to get to the doors, to get to the different information. So you can, this one for the APD, you can find in your professional trainings. And that one is under the deaf and other considerations. And here is that same training that it should have led you directly to there. So as soon as we get off with this training tonight, I will get that fixed. Okay, so here's the training. Now here's the rub, Sharon. You know, at the end of this, some people just they just finish it and they're like, I don't need to do the assessment and the app. I don't need to do all that stuff. I consider that this is done and you finish it, but you haven't necessarily checked all of the check boxes as you've gone through, because you can do that too. For every one that you do, you can mark it as done, and then you can see exactly what you've done and what you haven't. So not everybody does that. If you wanted to, when you're done with the training, when you go to the end, it says congratulations. Okay. You'll notice right here, it says keeping track of your completed trainings. Click here to document this. When you click on that spot, it takes you right back to that section that I showed you that was just keeping track of all of your, it's the same. So it's just different doors to kind of get to the same place. And that's how you can look to see that you have completed it. So you notice I checked it. So now here's that training. It's been checked off that I've done it.
All right. And you said you don't necessarily have to do the assessments.
So if you need a certificate that shows that you have done the assessment to get that you have completed the trainings. So
Mhm.
some licensure requires you to have a certain amount of hours.
Okay.
So if you need that, then you have to do the assessment to get that.
Okay.
If you're just doing this for your own and it's like nobody's keeping track and it's only for you, that's totally up to you what you do and what you don't do.
Very good. Thank
Yeah.
you for that.
Yeah. And I have to do it that way. I know it's a little clumsy, but every state has different requirements. Every state. So Illinois is like crazy. You know, it's Kim or Lisa, you're in Illinois. You've got to do ISBE and you've got to have not only, you've got to take like your assessment and you've got to get your certificate and you've got to do that. And then ISBE contacts us and then we have to verify that you actually did it. So we've got to make sure that all of the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. But then in Wisconsin, I'm grandfathered in. I don't have to do any more trainings at all, but I want to do trainings. So I don't want to mess around with any of the assessments or anything like that. So because everybody does it different, there's all of these different assessment options. But if you are just keeping track yourself, then I'll just show you that spot again. It is called right here, keep track of your completed trainings here. And you can either go from the training here to there, or you can start here and you can go to the training. You go either way. Is that helpful, Sharon?
Very helpful. Thank you.
Good. Other questions? Well, I hope you guys come on Thursday. Thursday, we're going to be talking about we're going to do a show and tell. So it's always fun to see what other people are using. So if you've got something that you have been using that your students have enjoyed, then I would love for you to bring and just talk about it, because it just like, oh, is it Ayala? Did I say it right?
Yes, Ina is my first name, Ina.
Ina. So
Ayala.
just like,
Yeah.
okay, just like Ina said, like, I didn't even know that that was in there. It's so fun to be able to see what other people have discovered and what other people are using. It's just really great to be able to see what others are doing. So come on Thursday and join and see what other people are doing and share your own. But then also if you've got like questions about, student needs or how to navigate the tough stuff, then I talk less, and we share amongst the community what other people are doing, and it's just it's a fun night. So that's on Thursday at 7 Central Time. So tonight was 7:30 Central Time, so it'll be 30 minutes
Oh,
earlier.
okay.
All right. You're welcome. Thank you guys so much for coming tonight, and we'll see you hopefully on Thursday.